Is a sting operation. This investigation that was done independently exposed the Mahadev betting application, and now there's been an impact. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has blocked 22 illegal betting applications and websites, including the Mahadev application, which faces money laundering probe in Chhattisgarh. The centre's action comes after our independent investigation and also the Enforcement Directorate probe into the matter. The ministry has, in a sharp attack, at this time, Baghel Sarkar, which is of Chhattisgarh, stated it had all the power to shut the application, but it did not. And the request of shutting applications came from the Enforcement Directorate, not the Chhattisgarh government. The ED has alleged that this Mahadev application promoters allegedly paid a bribe, a kickback, worth 508 crore rupees to Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel. He's immediately denied it. The Congress party has denied it. The Congress party and the Chief Minister has said that this is all the doing of the BJP ahead of assembly elections. So it's become as much about the political aspect of it, because Chhattisgarh is also now facing elections in the next few hours. In fact, let's go across to Sumi Rajapan, giving us the latest information on this. Sumi, so it is an election season. And while there is, of course, this big issue of illegal betting applications and the kickbacks, it is as political, specifically for the Congress party and Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel.
Yes, absolutely. The kind of revelations that have been made by the Enforcement Directorate just 2 days before, after a raid was conducted in several locations of Raipur and Bhilai, it is being directly linked with the Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel. However, he has also attacked the Bharatiya Janata Party and has asked the centre why the app was not banned after so many revelations were made. In fact, Mahadev book app has been under the scanner for more than 9 months of the ED, and before that, Chhattisgarh police has been doing all kind of arrests of the youth who had been involved in this illicit money that has been coming from the Mahadev app. In fact, Bhupesh Baghel has also attacked and said the centre has not banned Mahadev book app because there was because they were also hand in gloves with the promoters of the app. In fact, taking cognizance of the entire statement of Bhupesh Baghel, now the centre has also issued blocking orders of the 22 online betting apps, including Mahadev book app and the Reddy Anna, which has been acting in collusion. Both the apps have been acting in collusion. In fact, Mahadev book app was the parent company under which several entities had been working for so long. In fact, this entire app has been operational since 4 years, and now entire revelation has been made by the Mahadev book app after several raids have been conducted in the Chhattisgarh state. In fact, this is 24 hours before the polling, and now there is a purported video that is also coming out of Shubham Soni, where he claims to be the main promoter of the app, and several revelations have been made by him as well. We're waiting for a reaction from Bhupesh Baghel, but he has tweeted his version on
Sumi, stay on with me. So 22 illegal betting applications have been restricted for now. But of course, the allegation is, should the Chhattisgarh government have done it by itself, not come via the ED? Sumi will continue to stay with us. Here are the latest revelations in this Mahadev betting application scam. Hundreds of branches were active across India, and they of course found different ways to survive, even though that betting was illegal. But here's where it gets more explosive. There were bank accounts of small farmers and laborers that were used. How was that used? They were paid about a sum of money. For example, 5,000 to 10,000 rupees were paid to a small farmer or a laborer in exchange of the bank account information. So they may not realize the consequences of it, but their bank account was used to transfer money, to exchange hands. Then this is where it gets more serious. Of course, the transactions were very visible on what was happening. The bank officials allegedly were in collusion with the betting application members to ensure smooth transactions were taking place, for example, from a small farmer to another and then to another individual. Let's go across to point number 5. Application algorithm ensured that only 30% users win the money, and that was a way of how they survived. How was it not getting caught if this was happening so widely? This is where the allegation comes in against the law enforcement agencies, that the police was allegedly hand in glove too with the application promoters. Was everyone getting a kickback? So this illegal betting application continued, and that perhaps is the tragedy of all that is now getting exposed. And India Today also did an independent investigation to find out how this was really running so widely if it was illegal. Sumi Rajapan continues to be with us from Raipur. I want to go across to her. Sumi, so clearly it shows that while the betting applications have been for now restricted, But this was a full-on system, full-on nexus. It wasn't just about a Shubham Soni or his application, but it was political, police, and even the bank officials.
Yes, absolutely. This entire syndicate had been working for the past 4 years, and it would not have happened without the knowledge of the administrative people. That's what Shubham Soni has also been claiming, if that video of him is real. In fact, he sent a written complaint to Enforcement Directorate explaining his side as well. In that video, he's claiming to be the promoter, main promoter of the Mahadev book app, and how he had a meeting with Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel about the protection money. In fact, he has also named his son. These are serious allegations against Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, and against which he has now tweeted and said that Shubham Soni's video is not genuine, and in fact ED should not fall into such trap. And ED is certainly BJP's agenda. ED is BJP's tool to go against him during the election, because BJP is losing the state of Chhattisgarh. But if you look at the modus operandi of the entire Mahadev book app, it was only the 70%, it was only the 30% that used to go to the panel heads who used to operate the entire Mahadev book app on the ground. In fact, there were 600 centers operating across the globe, and hundreds of them operating across Chhattisgarh.
That's absolutely shocking.
But now it has been shifted to other parts of the country as well. And concerning global markets, it was very active in Pakistan and
it's not surprising,
well.
Sumi, that yes, there were so many agencies that were supposed to be cracking down were actually in collusion with the illegal betting application. It's become a huge political issue. I would request you to stay on with me. Sumi is tracking not just the election part of Chhattisgarh, but also this investigation that is coming. So what was the modus operandi? How does a betting application racket like this really work? Because they use discrete locations. They use locations that are used to operate the betting application networks, which are not easy to immediately identify and crack down. Then there are bank accounts network that are formed to evade scrutiny. They know exactly the manner in which they can be pinned down, and they try and find ways to evade that. And then, like I mentioned earlier, small farmers and laborers are paid a certain amount. Remember, these are poor people. Any sort of money for exchange of what they think is only bank account information is actually to use and transact all of that money from one account to another so they don't get caught. And then what happens thereon? Fake mobile numbers are provided to the banks. These banks, and it's not that these banks or officials are completely innocent, because when the fake mobile numbers are provided to the banks, the bank accounts are switched. And they're switched every 3 months. That's why they have different accounts of these small farmers, laborers that can be kept under the radar. Not a lot of tracking of their money is usually being done. And these bank accounts, because are switched every 3 months, that is how the money is exchanging hands. What happens about those who win, who invest in this application, who put in their money? An algorithm ensures that only 30% of the users win, so that more keep trying while some have managed to get the money. The programmed outcome is then established. All data and transactions are erased. In case there is a police raid, it's all online. So unless there is solid evidence that the cops beforehand keep, transactions they are managing to delete it right away.